they have more resources at their disposal, so their parents can contribute more money for their education. They're in an environment where they can learn more, and there are more. It's a bit stricter. So at our school, there's more people that like muck around in lessons, whereas at private schools and grammar schools, it's kind of frowned upon to be like that. So I think that's why they have the advantage, is because they're like thrown from a young age and taught not to be like that. Whereas at our school, it's kind of like seen as funny, and you become more popular if you act like that.
I don't think they're necessarily successful. Like if you look at like grades and stuff. Like, I know someone that went to private school, they came out with worse grades than what I did. So it kind of goes to prove that no matter what the amount of money you have, like you can still get, essentially they're still going to be hiring the same teachers that have come from the same place. So money doesn't really necessarily affect it.
If you look at the GCSE grades from this summer, so when we took our GCSEs, our school, well, I'm not saying we're bad, although we had our best GCSE results ever, or it's like one of the best ever. Becky High, Dr. Chandler's, John Hampden, Court, and Thorpe House all had a higher A to B grade at GCSE.
They do have more success, but there's a lot more pressure at the schools, and with that pressure, like, it's not necessarily like a good thing.
I think it is, because that pressure helps push people towards a better grade, and that's shown by the greater success overall of the school. I would keep them, because I think some of the country's elite historically have come from independent schools, but I think it's a bit unfair, because obviously some people are born into more executive lifestyles than some others. So obviously richer kids are going to have the advantage over poorer kids. That is why there's grammar schools, so it allows poorer kids to have a better education.
It creates a divide between, because there's a stereotype of private schools and state schools. So I wouldn't necessarily get rid of them, but I just still think, as Dom said, like there's a definite unfair disadvantage that if you just don't have the money, like you could have the brains and everything, but just because you don't have the money, you're not able to go to what seems better education.
But you could argue that if you've built a success for yourself financially, and you know personally what it's like to be at a secondary school where there's a lot of things that could put you away from your education, like friends and like drinking, etc. You can pay, if you have the money to, you can pay for your child to have a better education. And seeing as you've earned that money, it's your right to send them to a better education. So